What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel here from the GeekSpeakNation channel, and I'm here to bring you my review of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So here we are, and I just want y'all to be aware I just moved back to my place from college, so still trying to figure out what the setup is going to be for the summer. I'm on summer break. Haven't quite figured that out yet, so in the meantime we get this lovely white, or cream, is it like a pearl cream wall? I don't know. But either way, that's what we're going to be working with in the meantime until I come up with a different place to shoot at or a different design or stuff to put in the back. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for clicking on this review, and we're here to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is the sequel written and directed by James Gunn, who created the original Guardians of the Galaxy film, which of course took audiences by surprise and critics alike, including myself. I really enjoyed the original Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought it was smart, it was fun, you know, it was quirky to a degree where sometimes it just interfered with the plot in a strange way. I still really enjoyed the original Guardians of the Galaxy. And it definitely make my top 5 MCU films for sure. Really fun film. Moving into the sequel, the story is about the team coming together again, and Peter's dad. He's got his lineage. The point I'm trying to get at is that I can't really explain the plot of this story because there isn't one. I was really looking forward to seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but I do have to say, it felt like watching this film was just like a series of jokes that kept on going on that led to different scenarios that really weren't that engaging. And then in the last 30 minutes, they're like, oh yeah, we need a plot. Here's a twist. Deal with it, now we have a villain, now we have conflict at the very last stretch of the film. I really didn't expect that going into this film. And I think the reason it bothered me so much that I didn't want something that was just all jokes, I didn't want something that was just, you know, watch our characters get into crazy scenarios, was because I enjoy character development and I enjoy enriching and layering characters that we know and love. But at the same time, I want them to be active protagonists in their stories. I think the Guardians of the Galaxies work best in that way. I think the Guardians of the Galaxy in this film, each and every character are passive protagonists in this tale. Events just kind of happen to them, and it's more so about their reactions rather than them really being engaged with the story itself. Consequences and real action isn't taken up by these characters until the very last bit of the film, and that was really bothersome because it felt like the first 45 minutes of this film was just kind of floating along from very loose plot details after another. And I think it has to start with the fact that I think James Gunn did a good job at bringing back these characters. I think he did a good job at wanting to tell a tale that enriched the lore and the history of these characters and add more depth to each and every one of them. I really think each and every character does get a good amount of time to shine and really develop, except minus Drax. You know, he's mostly a joke machine in this movie. But nevertheless, you know, I think he had the right idea going into it, director James Gunn and writer James Gunn. But I feel like he kind of missed the mark with this film when it came to really giving us a story that was connecting all of these plot points together that were introduced and connecting all of these individual, you know, character arcs. I really feel like there was that progression missing that was very prevalent in the first film. I think from the very moment in which half the cast is kind of split off going on to different adventures is the moment where things kind of felt like they started falling apart. And it felt like the characters weren't really done as much justice as they could have been because of the scenarios that they were in. And I can't really get into too much detail because this is not my spoiler review. Nevertheless, that's just gonna have to be the case. This is just for people, you know, who maybe haven't seen the film, and just to give my overall thoughts about the feature itself. But I really do think that you know, everyone comes back and they bring strong acting performances. I think Chris Pratt does a great job as Peter Quill. Drax is great this time around. Dave Bautista really upped his acting chops and delivers some of the best laughs from the very opening of this film. For the opening credits, Baby Groot is adorable and exploitative as he should be. Gamora is great. Nebula is meh. And then Rocket Raccoon, played by Bradley Cooper, is of course still my favorite, personally my favorite character of all the Guardians. And Yondu is given a lot of time to shine, and Michael Rooker's character is given some really, really great development, and he does a really great job with the material that he's given. I just think the plot in and of itself really does not hold up, because really there isn't one until the very end. And yeah, sure, I can enjoy a film that's light and fluffy and full of adventure and comedy and laughs and goofs and gaffs. That's all nice, but it's kind of like cotton candy. It looks really appealing and it looks fantastic, but really when you get into it, there's not that much substance. The substance that is there, that's great. I really bought into the character actions and the character developments at the end of the film, but I personally felt like the investment that I had didn't really pay off in the way I wanted it to, and honestly, I felt like it was just a wasted opportunity for the most part, leaving us in some scenarios that really weren't as engaging as they should have been or could have been. And you know, you can spend all your time when it comes to sequels hammering out what does and does not add up and compared to the original, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying that on the merits of what this film is in and of itself, it's not really holding up all that great. This is definitely going to be one of my lower tier MCU films. I think it ranked pretty low. Not that this film was bad by any stretch of the imagination. You know, there's a lot of work done and people really committed to it, but I just don't feel like all the elements are really there. And I'll be able to go more in depth in that in my spoiler review about specific plot points and elements that really bothered me / didn't really develop as clearly as they should have. But with that being said, overall I enjoyed what was going on, but there wasn't much there once you really dug deep into the surface of what was actually put on the screen. So with that, guys, I'm feeling a 7 out of 10 for this film. I'm really feeling a 7 out of 10, which is really unfortunate because I was really expecting a really kick-butt film. I was really expecting to be blown away, but at the same time, I just really think, you know, James Gunn took the smart approach of, you know, bringing it back and focusing on developing the characters. And that was great, but I think he went about it in the wrong way when it came to the scenarios that they were put in to help develop them. I felt like there were so many sequences from the prison sequence, and when the team gets split apart, and when Peter and Jeff, oh my god, not Jeff Bridges, what? Kurt Russell, when he goes off with his plot line with Kurt Russell's character, Ego, I really feel like there was just wasted opportunity. And so, like I said, guys, we'll get more in depth with that in the spoiler review of this film. With that being said, I really do think it sticks and stands. Where it does is, it's a fine film, it's worth watching, it's a good time. It's definitely not a bad film. It's fine, it's great, big win. Not the greatest of all trades, but nevertheless, it is what it is. I think really what it comes down to it, and it's just pretty forgettable in my personal opinion. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in the comment sections down below in a non-spoiler fashion. Let me know your thoughts about this film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were some things that really stuck out with you? Jokes, of course, we can quote jokes for days about this film in the comment sections down below. Let me know what you think about it down there. Spoiler free, by the way, just in case for people who haven't seen it. If you really want to get in depth about it, be sure to hop over to my spoiler review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where we can really nitpick different elements about this film. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to click down here to check out that spoiler review, or click over here to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And remember, hey, if you like my review, hit that like button, and if you're new here, maybe subscribe. Either way, guys, I appreciate your support so much. I really do appreciate it. This is really awesome. Thank you so much. Take care. And don't forget to get geeky.